they were not interested in backing this match up.
Getting used to that new ACC lifestyle that waits for them next year. Stanford will kick it off, and they waste no time sending a long ball forward. Back and forth between VCU and Stanford in the midfield area here. There's a look at Elise Evans, another dynamic center back, the other center back with Kennedy Wesley, who was our Cardinal player to watch.
And Evans can score too. She has 3 career goals.
And you know a team is exceptional, John, when they're getting that kind of production from their back line. Moving it was Pagador, and that one is sent out by VCU. It'll be a throw-in for Stanford. Throw Ike, moving it forward. Ike, one of the team leaders in goals. Castro has to make a last-ditch effort to take that one off of Maya Doms. Turning around is Buta. Cross in toward Ike. Karpovic snags it there. That will end the first Stanford attack, at least momentarily, as Karpovic wants to allow VCU to play it from the back. So look at Piklo. Piklo trying to go long to Matsuhisa. Matsuhisa around the defender Pagador. And now makes a nice move to get past her again. Sends it forward towards Sarver. That's back to Anna Bagley, a dynamic weapon on this VCU team. Bulatovic up to Aisha Mon. Mon asking questions of the back line of the Cardinals. Sends a cross in. Opportunity. That one not cleared all the way away, and it's Haley Craig, our Stanford goalie tonight, jumping on that one.
And one wild card of this match, Haley Craig making her 2nd career start, her 1st of the season. She's played a little, but not much.
And again, that might just be to get her some playing time in between 2 top 15 teams in the country. But VCU, as we mentioned, does have some goal scorers. They let one get away from them there, though.
Yeah, that was a really nice build-up play. Bulatovic, the area she was trying to play that ball, that was standing water an hour ago.
Another opportunity now for VCU. Long pass. Was looking for Matsuhisa. It's taken away by the Stanford midfield. We see Kitahara was moving that up. It's now a throw-in for VCU as the Rams end that attack and win a throw-in. Sent long, and still a bit of a back and forth in this match.
Well cleared by Gajdobranski, and no hesitation, and that's going to be one of the keys. Don't mess around with it. If you don't have a play right away, just send it down route 1.
And Stanford, long pass taken away. Piklo looking for options. And she's going to drop it off to Krasula. That will go back to Gajdobranski. Gajdobranski, long pass forward to Sarver. Sarver under pressure, just drops it to Piklo. Matsuhisa trying to make the turn again, but goes out off of Stanford for a throw. Piklo, long throw. Finds Sarver. Sarver, too heavy of a touch, and it's taken away by Buta. Mia Buta sent that one forward. Castro tried to clear it, but didn't get all of it. Krasula there to save the day. Bagley back to Piklo, sent long in the direction of Sarver, but that will be all Elise Evans on that one.
Stanford kind of looking 4-2-3-1 in their attack right now. They really do push the center backs, though.
And Joelle Jung will drop that one off to Pagador, and Pagador long, losing her footing that time was Jasmine Ike. However, Stanford does retain possession. More options on the attack for the Cardinal. Pagador lays that one off. Cross it in and cleared away. Doms keeps it with Stanford. Pagador turns this one over. Bagley stepping in the way. Now Bagley looking for options. Intended for Krasula. Krasula to Bulatovic. Bulatovic now will go to the far side. Mon. Gotten past her defender Harrison once already. Now that's Jung on the far side. Crossing in, but again, couldn't find a ram on that one, and it's Haley Craig bringing it in.
What a great ball in by Mon. Just missed Anna Bagley.
Stanford trying to build from the back here, as that is Kennedy Wesley. Evans does have some space. VCU will have to come out and try to attack her, and it does kind of, John, look like Stanford on that back line. If VCU's forwards are going to give them space, they are going to move up and try to get VCU, which does appear, as you suggested, to maybe be trying to park the bus a little bit. They're going to try to get them out of position a little bit.
The Rams just have to stay compact, stay organized.
Another throw in for Stanford.
That was nicely done defensively by Krasula, who played really well in the Maryland match.
Bagley trying to trap Stanford, and she will do so successfully, as that was Shea Harvey that got trapped along the sideline. Headed away by Pagador. Gajdobranski forward and retaken in there by Harrison. Under 38 minutes to go here in the first half. Still scoreless between Stanford and VCU. Now we'll see VCU, Matsuhisa that time, electing to apply a little pressure, and VCU will come away with a throw-in. It looks like VCU trying to not only stay back, but then choose their moments to apply the press. So far, they've done a good job not allowing Stanford to have too many dangerous opportunities, John. In fact, only the one I can think of where they got a cross in, but Karpovich was quick to it. Now here comes Harvey through the midfield. She'll drop that back off to Harrison moving forward, and cleared away by Castro. Evans. Wesley now down to her fullback Pagador. That one is sent long, but that one is easily scooped up by Karpovich.
Sort of speculative right there. Didn't have runners.
But that will be something to keep an eye on, John. We've seen a few crosses from both sides into boxes that haven't been sent on goal yet by a forward, but with the weather and rain making this field and the ball as slick as it is, it's going to be a real test for the keepers.
That was really well done by Castro.
Moving forward again is Stanford now that they have possession. They're going to elect to play it back. VCU going to start to try to press here a little bit. Evans in space. Harvey has to watch Bagley trying to pick her off from behind. Instead, they will drop it down to Kelly Pagador. Evans. So go to Kitahara. Long shot. Karpovich knocks that one down.
So Young tries one from distance, and that's kind of Stanford's MO. They will shoot given the slightest opportunity.
That's going to be the thing to keep an eye on here again is VCU wants to move forward now. Sarver in an onside position, it looks like. Wins the race. Saw Mon running, but That one is cut off by Harrison, who just sends it out for a throw.
And a relatively simple play there by Harrison. And now you kind of wonder how much the field conditions will influence players' decision making. We had wild rain here for about an hour shortly after scheduled kickoff.
That one cleared away by Stanford. Another VCU throw, though.
When you see the bench coverings rolling by themselves across the field,
yeah,
that's a pretty wild storm.
Onto the field, tipping over, yeah. The good news for Stanford was their uniforms should be fairly dry. They were under the shell that blew over. There is a cross that was giving them an option, but Matsuhisa couldn't keep it in play. It goes over the line for a goal kick, but it's kind of the right idea there for John, or excuse me, that was the right idea, John, for VCU there.
Yeah, you really want to see him press on the right because Matsuhisa's pace may not be overwhelming to Stanford the way it is to Atlantic 10 opponents, but it's still impressive.
Jung loses that one. Piccolo. Wasting no time getting it to Munyak, who's now moving forward, but that long pass is taken away. And those are the kind of passes, John, that you were alluding to that you have to be careful. You can't be too ambitious because now Stanford on a counter trying to find options.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that can really open the field up.
Headed away. There was a moment there. Still battling and still with Stanford.
Really well done by Piccolo.
Playing advantage. Pagador sends another cross in. That one's going to miss everyone, and VCU should be first to that one.
Rams caught a little break there. Stanford didn't have a back post runner.
Harrison attacking, now has to deal with Mon, but drops it off. Doms puts a shot in, but it's going to hit off the side netting. It's a goal kick, but again, Stanford, if you allow them that edge, they are not afraid to take shots from tough angles.
You know, she was well defended. Castro was where she needed to be, and it just shows Stanford's aggression. They average only over 20 shots a game.
Well, Stanford, I mean, folks at home might be thinking, really probably never going to score from there, but Stanford used to scoring from tough angles, as I was saying, John. They had 9 U.S. women's national team players on this current U.S. women's national team roster come from Stanford.
Yeah, it's a tremendous traditional program. They've had tons of success. Paul Radcliffe, the 21-year head coach, and he's done an awful lot of winning, including a couple of national championships.
That one out for a throw-in. Yeah, nearly half of his time at Stanford, he has won the Pac-12 championship. Looking to win what might be the final Pac-12 championship. Will be Stanford's last time in the Pac-12. One headed down, and now Jung back. Stanford just trying to hold on to possession here. Sends one forward, and now will be VCU sending that one back. Munyak, and Karpovich sends it to Gajdobranski. Munyak forward. Matsuhisa couldn't keep that one in, so it's a Stanford throw right along the midfield line.
Cardinal, traditionally, they recruit nationally in just about everything, but 9 Californians and no international players on their roster. Rams, by contrast, typically start 5 international players.
Sarver tried to get around, but that was well done by Wesley to win possession back for Stanford. Now Evans is moving forward. That one intended for Kitahara, but headed away. Stanford still with it. Now Kitahara trying to make a move on Piccolo. Kitahara with space, sends a shot. Karpovich dives and knocks it to the side, and Piccolo will clear it out for a Stanford throw.
I was just thinking that VCU was doing a really good job defensively in terms of keeping their shape. And all of a sudden, a little bit of open space for Kitahara. It's a good save.
And these Stanford forwards, if you give them any room, they will start looking for shots. Kitahara with it at her feet again. This time the cross. Oh, that one might have caught Piccolo in the face. She is down, and now it's a race to the ball as this is still a live ball. Doms watches that one go out. It looks like it's going to be a Stanford corner, given what that official looks like he was pointing to the corner flag. So we will have our first set piece for Stanford here on a corner.
Yeah, it looked like the Rams played it out with that last touch. I think they were concerned about getting a whistle, but Piccolo, pretty remarkable recovery. She got dosed right there.
Yes, she did. And now corner comes in, headed on by Doms, but it goes over the goal, over the crossbar, and it's a goal kick.
Well, it was a well-designed corner from Stanford, and Doms had a chance, and she smashed it just a little bit high.
Take another look. That was the first save for Karpovich in that run of play, and that was what keeps us scoreless right now. Karpovich sends this one long. Sarver does win the race to that one, but now she's got a test on keeping possession. A little bit of miscommunication with Matsuhisa, and it's a Stanford throw.
Tough break. Rams haven't had much of the ball the last 5 to 7 minutes.
Krasula gets ahead to that one. Still loose. Sarver keeps it in. That was Pagador winning a physical confrontation with Sarver to get to that ball and send it back to their keeper, Craig.
Sarver showing off some skill to keep that ball alive, but Pagador was exactly where she was supposed to be.
Craig sends one down. Ike heading it forward. Excuse me, that was not Ike. That was Kitahara. VCU with it now. Here's an option that's taken away. Pagador elects to move it back to Craig again. Like Bulatovic on that last attack that almost got her into space down the right wing. Now Stanford wants to use their right side before flipping the field back here to the near side. 27 minutes to go in this first half. We're still scoreless between Stanford and VCU. The VCU defense doing a fairly decent job at taking away any Stanford attacking opportunities, and so far they've managed to keep the ball in the net. But Stanford, as we mentioned, coming off of an impressive 4-0 victory over Duke. That got them to number 2 in the nation. Right now, though, VCU holding their own. That one is turned over. Castro heads that one down, but it's not out of danger yet. Sent back in. Castro again. Gets a piece, but not all of it. Still loose.
A little bit of a miss hit there, and that's kind of what we were talking about in the pregame. When you get a chance to relieve pressure, you got to do it.
That time, like Shea Harvey was looking for options, but a little too strong and straight into the hands of Allison Karpovich.
Rams prepping the game's first sub. It'll be Carly Frillis coming on.
Too hard of a touch, and that will be a throw. It was off of the foot of Bulatovic from VCU. Bagley gets in the way. Comes VCU, still looking for attacking options. As John mentioned just a few minutes ago, haven't been able to have much of the ball. That hasn't really changed. Stanford continues to dominate possession, but so far, VCU's doing a good job keeping them at bay, not allowing them in an area to threaten Karpovich. And we're going to get what John was alluding to earlier, our first sub of the game, as Sarver checks out and Frillis comes in. So with Frillis coming in, this is an opportunity to see our first sub of the game. Carly Frillis, we were talking about national teams earlier. Carly Frillis with some experience at the national team level as well, as that one is sent forward, and now VCU has to hurry back. That was a shot that will sail over for a goal kick, as Buta was threatening that time for Stanford. Karpovic puts the ball down, and it looks like Karpovic gonna not be in any hurry here to kick this one away. I think you might see that, especially toward the end of this match. VCU, if it's still scoreless, definitely won't be in any hurry to send anything away. Bagley sends that one forward, headed away. That was Piccolo sending that one out. Now we'll have, looks like a Stanford substitution.
Lemmy Kostmeyer is coming on here, and it's a nice option to have on the bench. She's appeared in 27 games as a Cardinal, has 11 goals.
That one is sent on, but Wesley will head it down. Kostmeyer looking for options. Looks like now we're going to get more of that two-forward look from Stanford, as Kostmeyer is a second forward into this match for Stanford now. Talking to their SID before the match, he did say that they usually go with a 4-4-2 diamond shape, but on the starting lineup, only one player that was listed as a forward was in the starting lineup. Now you're starting to see that change a little bit, and maybe Stanford just wants to see one go in the back of the net here soon.
And it really looked like they were playing Aki as a central striker in a 4-2-3-1 with Kitahara and Dobbs kind of back his wings a little bit. And now it really does play like a 4-4-2.
Karpovic again getting ready to send one away. Karpovic with the goal kick, sends it long. It's headed forward by Bagley. Rams on that far side, definitely doing a good job trying to keep it, but Stanford kind of just using the numbers they have to take it away. That was a long pass that Krasula steps in the way of, and that forces Stanford to regroup from the back. Harvey through the middle with space. Somebody's going to come stop her, and that time it was Krasula again stepping up. Sliding tackle from Frillis, but it stays with Stanford. Kostmeyer trying to hop through the defense herself. Ooh, got to be careful. The ball was rolling under the body of, not sure who that was for VCU. Maybe Castro was down there, I think, but got to be careful when the ball's near your hands in the box.
Kostmeyer playing that like a gridiron fullback.
Yeah, just hop through the line. Sent out by Castro. It's another throw on the far side for Stanford. Harrison sends one toward Kostmeyer. It's cleared away by VCU. Evans over to Wesley now. Wesley looking for options. Drop it down to Pagador. Pagador now being pressured by Matsuhisa, who does a good job to win a ball. Sending it forward to Krasula, but first to it is Stanford. That is Maya Doms rushing back.
Really good individual effort there from Matsuhisa.
Pagador. Down to Kostmeyer. Kostmeyer looking for options. Kosmeyer takes the shot herself. Karpovic will knock it down. And Piklo sends it on its way. Matsuhisa just getting a boot to send it even closer to that center line.
But Kosmeyer has the hunter's eyes about her. Like she's really looking for goals.
I say she had Kitahara to her left, but I think that was the right choice there. Karpovic did knock it down, but that was all she could do. She couldn't quite catch it, and that did give Stanford a momentary look at a second opportunity at goal as we take another look at this one. See Kosmeyer with space, puts a tough shot on. That was diving on Karpovic as well, and she got to the ground to save it. Kitahara over to Doms, and that's sent back to the Stanford back line now. Throw in for VCU. VCU down to about 19 minutes left in this first half now. Still scoreless here at Sportsbacker Stadium.
Rams kind of defending as a 4-5-1 now.
Now VCU with an opportunity. Matsuhisa wanted to make a run. Pagador using her body to head her off, though, as Matsuhisa was maybe half a step away from making that a really interesting play. And now Matsuhisa will win VCU. It looks like a throw-in is the signal from the official right next to that corner flag.
Well done. Her one-on-one play has been spirited here in the first half and got a little peak at her pace that often really flummoxes A-10 opponents.
That one will now go out, and Stanford will take over. Under 18 minutes to go in this first half, but so far, John, been a pretty even match so far. Maybe Stanford with more opportunities than VCU, but they haven't been able to cash any of them in.
The Rams doing a nice job of kind of hanging on there.
These changes for the Cardinal, number 14, Julia Leontini replaces number 10, Maya Doms. Number 17, Erica Grillion replaces number 12, Jasmine Ike. And number 31, Amelie Dianum replaces number 20, Andrea Kitahaka.
So Stanford did bring in some more subs. We'll bring them to you as we catch them. VCU with an opportunity that goes by the wayside again. Stanford now trying to launch a quick counter. Moving quickly is Leontini. Leontini now over to Pienum. Leontini. Blocked by Piklo. Leontini now by Piklo, puts a shot on. That's going to go out for a goal kick as that one can't get put on target.
Leontini, Pianum, and Grillion, the subs for Stanford. So they've used 4 off the bench here in the first half.
Right now, they are threatening, John. That was an opportunity for Stanford. But, again, Leontini maybe wrapping her foot around that one a little too much. Couldn't find the back of the net.
Leontini hasn't scored yet this season, but been productive throughout her career. 4 goals and 8 assists in 58 matches.
VCU moving forward with 15 minutes left in this first half. That one is going to end the Rams' attack. It'll be a throw-in for Stanford.
Really owns a freshman. She's played one game, has one goal. Pianum's another freshman.
So back and forth we go between VCU and Stanford. Under 15 minutes to go. That throw in a little too long for a VCU target, but the Rams will get another throw in.
Rams are starting to grow into the match in terms of possession percentage.
Rams looking for options, but now it allows Stanford to launch a counter. Looking again forward, but cleared away as they were looking for Kosmeyer. Piccolo in an absolute battle, this time with Pianum.
And Piccolo and Gajdobranski both just playing smart, positional soccer.
Pagador looking for options, moves it to the middle now. That one out of the reach of Buta. Evans turns around, will move it over to Harrison. Harrison from the A10 logo now more towards central. Bagley in the way. Frillis couldn't keep possession with VCU, and it goes to Harrison.
She had an idea, and I think the field kind of wrecked it for her.
This is Grillione. Grillione has that attack ended by Karpovich. Looked like she might have been looking that time for Pianum. .13 minutes to go. VCU and Stanford scoreless here in the first half from Richmond, Virginia. The number 2 Cardinal looking for their first goal. VCU has been on their back foot most of this first half, but so far the back line and the goal has stood tall for VCU.
Oh, the Rams haven't given up a great chance yet, with the exception of that header on the corner. That was really a tremendous opportunity.
Well, now Pianum with some space does find Harvey, and Stanford, though, has to move it back because, again, once VCU gets a little bit out of position, the midfield is doing a good job, John, rushing to apply pressure and kind of force Stanford to move it back at least. Frillis was fighting. Now Matsuhisa trying to keep it with VCU, and Piccolo has it. That one's going to go over to Munyak. Munyak. She has some space, wants to try a long ball. Moving down that far side. That was Aisha Mann, but see what VCU has here on a corner.
Hey, the Rams' speed on the wings is actually giving Stanford some difficulty here. Matsuhisa and Mon, their pace is pushing the Cardinals just a bit.
Will be Bagley to take the corner. Sends it in. It's over the head of the keeper, Haley Craig, and VCU with another opportunity here. Piccolo wants to send one toward the goal. Craig again gets a piece of it, but not all of it. It's now sent away, and Stanford with a counterattack. That will be ended that time by Gajdobranski. VCU kind of getting back into their shape now. Crisula moving forward. Bagley was calling for it, and Bagley will get it. Bagley trying to move toward the center. Bagley sends one on goal. That one right into the stomach of Haley Craig.
And that's the Rams' best 2 or 3 minutes of the match. Really doing nice things all over the field. Broke up the counter and giving Anna Bagley an opportunity to find some space.
And Anna Bagley is a name that folks in the A10 will be glad when she gets her diploma from VCU. They might be clapping when she makes her walk across the stage. She has been a nightmare for A10 opponents.
Oh, there'll be some coaches sending flowers.
Matsuhisa not off of her. That'll be a throw-in for VCU as Pagador maybe sticking a foot up, and the official saying that Matsuhisa lowered her head, so it was not a dangerous play. Piccolo trying to find an option, does manage to nutmeg Pianum, but Stanford gets the ball right back. Pagador. Forward. But only as far as Gajdobranski. Piccolo. Out of play. VCU throw. Clock now down under 10 minutes left in this first half. We have a whistle, and yep, wants to remind Piccolo that the throw-in is back a few steps. This is Evans. Evans is moving forward, now has to stop and drop it back to Harrison. Kennedy Wesley moving forward, finds Pagador. Pagador, light touch, but not into the path of Pianum, and it's taken away by VCU.
Rams going to get Ella Higgins on next opportunity, just their second sub of the match.
VCU has done very well. These players, as you mentioned, John, playing most of the match. Sarver came out for Frillis. That's been our only sub we've seen from VCU, and they've still managed to do a lot of running, but holding Stanford scoreless. And now looks like Ella Higgins will have some company along the touch line. Sent long, but that one should be easy for VCU to win the race too. Gajdobranski clears it away. That was up toward Frillis. Matsuhisa wins the second chance ball, and now Evans trying to launch an attack for Stanford. Pianum. Piccolo clears it away. Back to Pianum. Shot on the way, and it goes wide of the post. That was Leontini with the shot. We'll have a goal kick, and we'll have some VCU substitutions. Looks like we had a third Ram join the substitution parade there late.
Well, we're going to get Ella Higgins and Jazzy Jackson in for sure. Saw Jackson briefly early in the season. Cardinal going to counter with Logan Smith getting her first run, and Avani Brandt making her 42nd career Cardinal appearance.
Jazzy Jackson replaces number 5, Kana Matsuhisa, and number 29, Kira Connolly replaces number 11, Elisa Bulatovic.
So the substitutions are in, and there is Kira Conley into the match for VCU. As you mentioned, John, VCU going to Jazzy Jackson as well, as that one is sent toward the VCU box, but the back line stands again for VCU. They're doing a good job so far. Pianum. Leontini taken away.
Connolly appearing in just her third game of the season.
Long shot, that goes out. It's a VCU goal kick.
Mia Buddha trying one from distance there.
Shaman getting a lot of playing time here in this first half, has not checked out yet.
Jackson playing up there on the right, straight change in the substitution with Matsuhisa.
VCU sends this one back, and now it looks like, oh, Haley Craig makes a collision with.
Yeah, Anna Bagley got there a little late, and Craig wasn't very happy about it.
No.
Bagley going to get a talking to.
I think it's Higgins.
Is that Higgins?
Higgins was the one that ran up there and tried to get in there late.
Referee Carlos Gomez.
Just wanted to have a talk to her, though. No cards.
So Higgins playing up top.
But it does kind of look like VC's gone back to that one forward kind of look, John, that they started with. As Mon has dropped into more of a midfield role.
Higgins is central striker now in 4-5-1. Senior out of Roanoke.
Bagley wants to drop that one off. Jackson sends it forward toward Higgins, but that's out of play. Stanford throw in. We're under 4 minutes left in this first half. Reminder, if you're new to college soccer, there is no extra time. Once the clock hits 0 and that alarm goes off, we are done for the first half. Piccolo heads that one up. Still bouncing back and forth. Munyak sends that one long, but Pagador will be first to it. Stanford again from the back. Intercepted that time by Jackson. Jackson loses possession to Piana. That was intended, looked like for Shea Harvey. Harvey will finally get there. Bagley pursuing. Pagador now makes a move on Jackson. Pagador with space now. Heavy touch. Krasula comes in and wins possession back. Conley to Bagley. Over to Conley. Conley immediately under pressure. Somehow keeps it and finds Castro. Castro wants to move it toward Higgins. Off the foot of Higgins and behind her, and Evans able to end the VCU threat.
Really well done, though, by Conley to build that attack up.
Cleared away. No nonsense defending that time from Gajdobranski.
Gajdobranski quietly is having a strong match, making the simple, smart plays.
Pianum drops it off. Opportunity. Karpovich couldn't save that one, and Stanford finally on the board late in the first half.
Yeah, the D just got stretched there on that restart.
And it's the freshman Grillione going 5-hole on Allison Karpovich. Her second goal of the season.
She's played 2 games, has 2 goals off the bench. How hard can this college soccer thing be?
Comes in the 44th minute.
That hurts. Rams have done really a lot of good things. They made a little bit of a positional mistake on that restart that opened up some space.
Sent forward back toward Grillione. It's cleared away this time. Grillione has an option to her right, and that time Castro gets in the way to head it away. Grillione that time.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Couldn't find her intended target. we might have had a Stanford substitution in there somewhere. So it looks like Logan Smith has checked into the match for Stanford. That was the intended target of that Grillion pass, but again, Stanford willing to concede the final 20 seconds here in this first half, and it will be 1-0 Stanford as Jazzy Jackson came crashing in to deny a late long pass from Pagador. She's hobbling a little bit, but appears to be, hopefully she's okay, still hobbling a little bit as there is the buzzer, and so that shot wouldn't. Back to that original starting lineup of the first half. Bagley takes the kickoff and immediately starts running forward. Then has to play it back.
Yeah, Sarver and Bulatovic are back on, so VCU is going with their original starting 11.
Castro sends a long throw forward, intended for Sarver. It'll bounce off of Sarver, pinballing off a few Rams before Bagley will drop that back off for Castro. Oh, tried to clear it away, but Sarver, forearm to the back, and that's a free kick in a dangerous area for VCU.
Ball kind of followed Sarver around, and she stayed alert and did a good job to draw that foul.
Take another look at it here on the replay, and you can see Sarver had the position, and Harrison tangled up the legs a little bit, but I think what got the referee's attention more than anything was that extended arm there. And it looks like Bulatovic. Nope, that's going to be yeah, that is Bulatovic standing over it.
She was a tremendous junior college goal scorer before joining the Rams last year.
Bulatovic. And leaping up to take that one away was Haley Craig.
Well read by Craig. That's a good-looking ball in from Bulatovic.
Didn't want to leave that one up for chance, and now Stanford trying a counter. Munyak first to that. Gets it back for VCU. Mon, Bulatovic. Turning around is Munyak. Karpovic. Over toward Castro. It's headed back more towards Central. That one is going to be out for a goal kick as that one is off of Maya Doms.
So the Rams in the back, Castro, Munyak, Gajdobranski, Piccolo, then Krzula, Bagley, Bulatovic, Matsuhisa back out there on the wing on the right with Sarver and Mon.
Sent away, and that's going to be a throw-in for Stanford on the far sideline. Being headed around, Grillion a little too hard off of her head, and Bagley was the first to it for VCU, but the Rams attack only makes it as far as Evans before it's turned away. VCU has to be careful with some of those passes. Now Bulatovic looks to go up to the top to Matsuhisa. Matsuhisa trying to see if she can get a cross in. Just misses. Sarver races past Mon, who will now chase this one down before it gets out of play. Now Mon trying to lose Harrison. Harrison staying with her, and Harrison might have just conceded a corner. Oh! Pointing to a goal kick.
Yeah, Ram bench not feeling that one. That was really well done by VCU's solid build-up play. Matsuhisa's pace on the right. Great ball in. She had runners.
See here, that might have been Mon's leg in between Harrison's. So we'll give the official the benefit of the doubt. He's a little bit closer than we are. Evans moving forward. Finds Doms. Now Harrison. That Goes back to Wesley, who sends this one forward now. Pianum under duress has to send it back to Wesley. Oh, an opportunity for Stanford here. Karpovich stays on her back line. That one is blocked by Gajdobranski. Grillione wiped out. Advantage played for Stanford. Shot. That one goes out for a goal kick.
And again, the Cardinal aggressive from distance. And that was really well done by the Cardinal back line. Evans with 2 good balls in that sequence to build that attack up.
So Karpovich sends this one long. That one does find Sarver, but she couldn't corral it. So Evans moves that one back to Wesley. Wesley sends one over to Pagador. Pagador now moving forward. Stanford moving in. Pianum tried to put a low cross in. That one is knocked away by Karpovich. Karpovich watches Leontini's shot sail over for a goal kick.
Well read by Karpovich.
Munyak, long pass that Harrison will intercept, but Bagley brings it back in. That's Matsuhisa up top. She's looking for Sarver. Sarver calls for it. She's now trying to get in between Evans. Harrison wins the race. And Sarver blocks the clearance attempt, but it's a goal kick for Stanford.
Well, it was a tremendous effort by Sarver. She did a great job to really put some pressure on the D there.
Kind of a gut-busting run there from Sarver, trying her best to keep VCU on the attack.
Yeah, it really was. I didn't think she had a chance to get to that original ball from Matsuhisa.
Oh. Now we saw Piccolo take one earlier in the first half. That was Grillione, the goal scorer, that took one off of a clearance attempt from Gajdobranski. Both players appear okay as Piccolo's back. Still has been in this match the whole match so far, and looks like Grillione's going to stay in. The Cardinal right now leading by a goal. Evans and Wesley had been playing a bit of keep away, and then Evans decides to include Harvey. All the way back to Haley Craig. Trying to get this VCU formation out of line, and Pagador with a nifty move to keep possession. Gajdobranski sends that one out of play. Evans to Harrison. Now Doms looking, tries to send one into the box, but it's blocked at least momentarily by Castro. Bagley in the way of that pass intended for Buta. Now Sarver in space, and Sarver has to contend with Kennedy Wesley. Sarver trying to lose her. Lays it off for Bagley. Harvey the first to it. Shot is popped up and into the hands of Haley Craig.
Well, that was really well done by Bagley to get that sequence started. A nice job by Stanford center backs to close Sarver out when it looked like Rams might have caught Craig way off her line.
Yeah, Craig does end up making the save in large part, as you mentioned, John, thanks to Evans and Wesley. Long ball sent up to Matsuhisa. Piklo wants to try again with Sarver. This time Evans first to it. But Bulatovic sees an option in Aisha Mon. Mon sends one into a dangerous area. Misses Bagley. And that is an attack that goes by the wayside as Matsuhisa was crashing in from the far post as well.
Yeah, the tragedy there is that was probably a ball that Matsuhisa had the better opportunity to play, but Bagley couldn't know that from where she was.
Now Evans tries a long ball. Munyak heads it down. Collision with Doms and Mon. Now Doms loses Bulatovic. Around Krasula to Leontini. Pianum. Cleared away. It's a Stanford corner.
A rare Stanford corner tonight for a team that typically piles them up.
And just their second. Leontini will take.
They averaged almost 9 a game coming in.
Leontini sends this one in, aiming for Harvey. It's popped up. Still ricocheting in the box as Munyak sends it long. Harrison wants to send it back into the mixer. That one is popped up by Castro. Munyak. Oh, off of Buddha. Goes right back to Munyak. Harrison again in the way of an intended pass to Sarver. And now Grillione won't win that race with Stella Castro.
Really like VCU's back four play tonight. They're getting a huge test and almost thus far playing 100%.
Still a lot of soccer to be played in this one, John. But as you're talking about, the back four has been tested quite a bit tonight. They've done very well. And this is the kind of opponent that even in a loss, as long as it stays, somewhat close here, and right now 1-0 is about as close as it gets, as we see Evans check out for the first time.
Avani Brandt got some run in the first half and comes on for her second stint of the game.
But if this scoreline stays close, John, this is the kind of performance that can really give that back line a ton of confidence because they know what Stanford is.
Well, for an hour, Rams have gone nose-to-nose with the number 2 team in the country. It's a huge improvement over what happened to UVA.
Adams was looking, but Krasula steps in the way. Bagley dropping it off to Mon. Mon forward. And Brandt called on to make a play for the first time. Ends up dumping Sarver. Goes out of play and will be a Stanford throw.
Almost needed a snorkel from where that ball wound up.
Headed forward. Krasula. Harrison. Out of play. Long throw does find Sarver. Sarver drops it off to Mon. And Mon appealing for a corner. And VCU will win the corner.
Yeah, that clearly deflected off a Cardinal on the way out.
Bagley to take the corner for VCU. Bagley contends with the corner flag there. Sent in. It was aiming for Matsuhisa on the near post. That was Krasula sending that one in. Still bouncing around. An opportunity for Matsuhisa. Wesley clears it away, and Harrison pushes it out over the sideline for a VCU throw.
Harrison giving her team a chance to breathe and regroup a little bit. Good Ram pressure.
Matsuhisa takes this throw. It's dropped back off now Nice sidestep from Bagley. Sent in off of the knee of Sarver. Couldn't catch that one off the boot. And that's another one that Sarver probably wishes that she had back.
Yeah, it's a tough ball to handle cleanly, but could have been a glorious opportunity.
Castro can't keep possession of that when it goes out for a throw-in, and we will have the substitution now as
Jasmine Akey going to come back on here.
So as we see Jasmine Akey back into this match, again, one of Stanford's leading goal scorers this season.
Akey, another one who's just ridiculously productive. 13 goals in 27 career matches coming in.
Stanford wants to try that far side now. Matsuhisa doing a good job trying to end the attack at her level. Now Stanford coming back to that near side. They want to go up toward Doms, but Doms a little too heavy of a touch, allows Castro to get in the way. Bagley, heavy touch. Sent forward and out of play. It'll be a VCU throw as it took a deflection off of a member of the Stanford Cardinal.
They didn't bring the tree.
They didn't bring the tree.
Kind of hurts my heart a little bit.
Well, it's got its roots set in Palo Alto.
That's true. Trees aren't exceptionally mobile.
Krasula. That one going to go out of play. It'll be a goal kick for Stanford. Yeah, not unless we're in Middle Earth, I'd say.
Yeah, trees are not noted for their mobility. That's true.
Haley Craig gets us started again. Again, we're under half an hour left in this match. It's still 1-0 Stanford, and now Doms got behind Castro, but turns back around. Grillione waiting on a potential cross. Castro will go ahead and send that out for a corner and allow VCU to regroup. Well, on that first corner, it was Doms that had a pretty clear shot as she wasn't marked too tightly, just couldn't direct the header on target. The second one was more of a ricochet problem for VCU, and this one, Aisha Mon easily able to bring into check, and then she sends it long over the sideline when she realized she didn't have too many attacking options up there with her, and Stanford was pressing. Now we'll have a substitution here.
Gajdobranski coming back on for Stanford. She was a starter.
So as Kitahara comes in, that does replace Pianum. Ike, another one of those starters, into a collision there with, I believe that was Munyak. VCU throw. VCU slowly but surely moving up the sideline right now. That throw in a little too tall for Sarver. Bagley was trying to apply pressure. That one's popped up. Stays in play. Dom sends it forward. That's Grillione in a race. Grillione too heavy of a touch that time as VCU's back line doing a great job helping each other out. That was Gajdobranski coming to the aid of Lindsey Munyak.
Yeah, Gajdobranski really read that play well.
Throw in for VCU. Well, again, maybe only a few yards at a time, but VCU is moving up the sideline as Harrison pops another one up. That one won't stay in. Haley Craig with a clearance that was left a little bit to be desired, but Stanford will survive the experience, sending it long, and there's Piccolo now in a race. She'll win that race with Kitahara. Send it back up to Matsuhisa. Matsuhisa drops it to Bagley. Bagley has Mon. Mon trying to lose Harrison, sends it towards Sarver. Flying in, but unable to direct it on goal was Bulatovic. And it'll be a Stanford goal kick.
Yeah, I love that run from Bulatovic. That was a great idea.
Let's see here, there's Sarver. This time Sarver realizes that's over her head, but Bulatovic just couldn't get enough on that one to direct it toward goal. Stanford now moving forward. That one sent toward Grillione and put back into the path of Grillione. Stanford maintaining possession. Ike lets one rip. It's headed on. Saved by Karpovic. Second opportunity, though. Finds the back of the net, and the Cardinal will be offside, says the linesman. So no goal.
Oh, a reprieve on a really well-worked play by the Cardinal.
And that denies Kitahara. Thought she had her third goal of the season. Let's take a look at it here. Sent on. Hard to tell from our angle.
The only way, there was a player on the right down in the corner. From what I'm looking at, the only player who could have been offside was the one way off on the right there.
Either way, Kitahara thought she had an important second goal for Stanford and her third goal of the season, but the offsides flag goes up, and we stay at 1-0 with under 24 minutes to go now.
And the tragedy there is that the player, from the Stanford perspective, that player on the right was uninvolved. How about the first save from Karpovic, though?
Yes,
wow.
I mean, that was something to keep it 1-0 there. And now she might be called on again. Doms gets around Castro. Doms sends a shot. Karpovic again. Strong hands from Allison Karpovic.
But in a redemption night for her. She had a tough time, as did her teammates at UVA, and really has played well tonight.
And she's gotten a lot of help from the back line, but that time, that was kind of Doms on Karpovic, and Karpovic comes up strong, and now she'll have to defend a set piece. Heike sends one in. VCU, at least for now, able to relieve some of the pressure. Here comes another one sent in by Ike. The clearance goes straight up. Grillione heads it toward goal. Still in the box. And now VCU can send it the other way. Sarver just sends it as far as she can away from the VCU goal.
Which is understandable, but there was a real opportunity to build a counter there. Just a tick more patience.
Brandt goes up to Wesley. 22 minutes left in this match. Out of play, it's a throw-in. Now we'll have some more substitutions. It's like Bulatovic will check out. Connolly checks in.
Connolly had a nice little spark when she came in late in the first half. Maybe you give Bulatovic 5-6 minutes to kind of get her legs back under her.
Stanford has Harvey. Harvey goes up. Taken away by Matsuhisa. And Matsuhisa sends a shot. It's going to be saved by Haley Craig. A little too far out, but Matsuhisa just wanted to see Haley Craig have to make a save and maybe wanted to see if they could get a ricochet.
You got to test her there. Good run by Matsuhisa.
Oh, Munyak wants to play it back to Karpovic, but Karpovic thought that was maybe staying along the sideline. Instead, had to run back toward the goal a little bit. That's always something that will make coaches hold their breath when they see the defenders playing it back on frame. Brandt. Back to Craig. About 20 minutes to go.
Paige Hoger at the touchline for the Rams, and she's going to be joined by a small crowd, maybe including Bulatovic getting right back in.
Bagley sends it low. That was toward Sarver, but cleared away. Munyak sends it back long. Matsuhisa can't keep it. Brandt moving forward. Now drops it to Harrison. Harrison. That was Buddha blocked, and it will be a goal kick.
And the corner's starting to pile up. Frillis going to come back on for VCU, along with Paige Hoger making her first appearance of the evening. And the Cardinal going to get to Julia Leontini back in there.
And for Stanford, entering is number 14, Julia Leontini, replaces number 8, Mia Buda.
So VCU electing to switch out both forwards. Sarver and Mon for the first time getting a break in this match. Hoger.
Good first touch.
Yeah, excellent first touch. Finds Bagley. Bagley has Matsuhisa to her right if she wants her. Bagley just trying to create some space. Now might opt for Matsuhisa. She continues to attack. Goes to Matsuhisa here, but Matsuhisa in an offside position.
That was really good patience from Anna Bagley. Unfortunately, her teammates couldn't match that patience.
18 minutes to go in this match. Still only one goal separates the number 2 team in the country, Stanford and VCU. VCU has started to play with a little bit more confidence up front. Bagley was, excuse me, that was Connolly that was looking for Hoger. Bagley will send it on. Now here's Matsuhisa. Matsuhisa elects to go toward the middle, puts a shot on. It's saved, but we'll have a VCU corner as Matsuhisa let one rip, and Haley Craig, all she could do was push it over the line.
Yeah, I really like that cutback and the strong left foot. Got it back and let it rip.
And Matsuhisa and Pagador has been something to watch the whole night. Bagley plays it short. Piccolo can't get it over Leontini. Now it's turned over. Stanford sends it out for a throw.
And the Cardinal a little impatient there. I thought they had a chance to maybe build up.
Well, another opportunity here for VCU. Bagley looking for options. One is sent in. Hoger threatening, and it's in the goal for VCU! I don't know how much that was intended to be a shot, but it's in the back of the net for the Rams, and they have equalized with just about 16:45 left in this match. What a finish for VCU.
I'll just throw the ball in the 6th and see what happens.
Again, not sure how much that was intended to be a shot, but Haley Craig was just trying to get a hand to it, and I think she might have ended up knocking that one in with her hand.
Yeah, I think she had to try to play it. I think it was going in if she didn't.
Jazzy Jackson. I don't think Jazzy Jackson's on the field.
Yeah,
I think that was Piccolo.
Yeah, she's not out there. That was definitely not Jazzy Jackson. But, you know, these numbers designed by the National Security Agency.
You got to keep them protected as that one's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, if I'm in witness protection, that would be the jersey I would pick.
Sent forward. Oh, Stanford looking to get back in front. VCU still with work to do. That shot over the crossbar, out for a goal kick. And, John, we talked about it when that insurance goal didn't go in for Stanford. VCU still only a goal away. Who knows what happens in the run of play. VCU finally gets one in the back of the net.
Yeah, the Rams caught a break on that offside, and they've taken full advantage of it. And it was Jordan Piccolo.
It was Piccolo. I thought, once I saw the yellow boots, I knew there was only one or two players there, and it was Piccolo. Yeah, Castro's one of the other ones with yellow boots, but blonde hair versus the brunette hair helped out on that one.
Although Jazzy Jackson on the bench wasn't really that much further from goal than Piccolo was
right.
when she struck that ball.
I'm sure Jazzy Jackson was excited to hear her name called for a second, but Frillis, very physical with Brandt. And that one's going to be a free kick for Stanford after the shoving, and Frillis.
Boy, she's walking right to the edge. She got handsy, and then, you know, referees having a bad night, that could easily be a card right there.
Used to dealing with the FIFA officials there.
Yeah, you watch that on a Sunday morning, that's a card.
Doms gets in the way of Castro. Now Castro still has work to do. Ike, and you can see Stanford kind of starting to ramp up the pressure a little bit.
Well, there's more of a sense of urgency. You can see it.
Dom sends one in, but it's cleared away that time by Gajdobranski.
Like they realize they're in a scrap now. Their body language, they're trying to find another gear.
Brandt moving forward. Now Harrison. She's around Hoger. Hoger, though, recovers nicely to block it. It will be a corner for Stanford.
They're starting to pile the corners here in the second half, which is a big part of their normal MO.
14 minutes and counting here in the match. Jasmine Ike to take the corner. It's 1-1, VCU and number 2 Stanford. Doms gets her head to it again. They have had success going to Maya Doms there on the front post, but that one, tons of pace, but just over the crossbar. Karpovich getting ready for another goal kick. And, John, we were talking about if this game stays close, the kind of confidence for that back line. But the back line, and it's a goal from the back line. And Jordan Piccolo, that confidence is really going to soar if VCU is able to pull out a draw here.
Yeah, Piccolo's first career goal.
Doms felt Castro on her hip, goes to Harrison now. Harrison trying to get around Hoger. This time the cross is around Hoger. Hoger sends it out. Flag went up, and it was offsides on Harrison, I believe that time. Was behind Hoger when the pass was played over there.
And that was well defended. Greta Krasula again getting back into the mix defensively, and she's had a strong game in the midfield. Rams have a small herd of subs. They're trying to get in.
I think Aisha Mon is one of them. Oof.
And this should be, the whistle. Yeah, Bulatovic is going to come back. Sarver's going to come back.
Yeah, Mon, Sarver, and Bulatovic all coming back in for VCU as they can kind of sense there might be a point to be had in this match.
And Stanford's going to bring Pianum back on.
Valuable minutes, though, from those subs, John, as that's when the goal was scored.
29, Kyra Connolly. And number 34, Aisha Mon replaces number
Castro.
10, Paige Hoger. And for
Mon.
substitution, number 31,
Whistle and a foul. So now VCU with a free kick. Bulatovic will take it. Sent in. Ooh. I tell you, Kennedy Wesley just enough to send that one over the crossbar. I don't think that's the direction it was supposed to go.
That had catastrophe written all over it.
And now VCU with the corner. Can Anna Bagley find a teammate, and can VCU take the lead? Bulatovic toward the goal, and it was all Haley Craig could do to push that one over for another Rams corner.
Alertly done by Craig, and again, really nice delivery. Rams have hit some quality balls into the sixth tonight.
And they're going to stop the clock with about 10 minutes here in this match as Bulatovic, who got her head to that one, went down. Didn't see where the collision would have been, but it might have been where the ball caught her on her face.
Yeah, that's an automatic these days.
Either way, VCU with another corner. That one's a low one, and that one is cleared away with ease that time by Julia Leontini. Kept in.
Talking about all the good balls VCU's played in. Kind of scuffed that one, but they win it back.
Oh, an opportunity as Bulatovic lays it off for Mon. Mon puts a shot on, and it goes over the crossbar. Aisha Mon with an opportunity there. Fairly open goal, but just got under it a little too much. And now we're going to see Evans check back in. That is not a big surprise to see Evans coming back in now, John.
No, and it's one that Mon has to just kind of turn the page and let it go because, yeah, great opportunity, and she just wasn't able to get on top of that ball.
Sarver trying to get in the way. This one to Mon. Bagley tries to lay it off for Crisula. Crisula's touch. Couldn't find a VCU teammate, and now Stanford on a counter. But right back to Crisula. And, John, right after the goal, we saw Stanford kind of launch an attack, but now VCU has Matsuhisa down the wing. Lays it off, shot tipped up in the air, and Haley Craig there to save it.
Was some good last-ditch defending from the Cardinal to spoil a really well-worked sequence.
As I was saying, Stanford, in the first minute or two right after the goal, released a barrage that VCU withstood. But since then, VCU kind of has looked a little bit the better side here in the last 3 or so minutes, John.
Yeah, they really have. It took a good play by Shea Harvey to break up that last attack.
Mon trying to lose Harrison. Harrison has done a very good job being called on numerous times tonight. Mon, though, this time does get a ball past her. That was a dangerous swing of the leg there, maybe.
A really ambitious attempt at a volley from Bulatovic.
That one is sent forward. It's a race. And Kitahara puts enough pressure to force a throw in as Munyak wanted to just get that one out of there. Now we will have a substitution. So Zhang in for Leontini. And now Ike down the sideline, runs all the way across the mouth of goal. Stanford still with it. Sends it back in. Headed on toward goal and in! for Stanford. Kitahara was denied earlier, but this time the header is true and past Karpovich. Stanford retakes the lead late with just over 7 minutes to go.
That one hurts. You know, the Ike run, she played a tremendous ball. Rams kind of escaped one there, but that the header from Kitahara looks kind of like she just popped it up, but it just had the right angle.
Karpovich had to scramble back, took a swipe, and couldn't quite get there. So there is the goal from Kitahara, her third goal of the season. Now Bagley loses possession. Stanford wants to see if they can add a third. So Pianum with an assist on that. Out of play, Stanford throwing on the far side. 6.5 minutes to go. So Stanford does find a late goal in this one to retake the lead. That'll be a goal kick for VCU.
Nice job there for Matsuhisa just to shepherd that ball out.
83rd minute goal, and now looking long for Sarver. Sarver going to try to apply some pressure to Evans, who just sends that one out. Sarver throw in. Mon keeps it with VCU. Sarver being pressured by Harrison. Sarver wiped out by Harrison. We're going to have a stoppage, and usually when that happens, we see a card. In fact, the official has already gone to his pocket. It's a yellow card for Harrison.
Yeah, that's a booking offense. She had the hands out.
VCU, do they have one more equalizer in them?
A yellow card has been issued to Stanford number 23, Naya.
Give the Rams conditioning credit in this game. They've been able to pressure Stanford with some hard late runs.
Bulatovic will attempt this free kick. Oh, looked like she decided to go for goal there, as Haley Craig does get to the near post to stop it.
Interesting idea, but you'd have to strike that ball with a lot more pace to have a chance.
VCU with a throw. Clock down to about 5 minutes to go. VCU, you can tell, not willing to just sit down a goal. They are pressing for an equalizer against the number 2 team in the country.
And they should be. I mean, they've gone, nose to nose with Stanford all night. There's no reason now to try to hold the score down or anything like that. They should be stepping on the accelerator. They've proven they can.
As I say, they've already equalized once in this match. Castro heads it back. Gajdobranski sending it long toward Matsuhisa. Matsuhisa gets around her defender. Now she's going to need some help. She slams on the brakes, but crosses up the defenders. Was looking for Bagley, couldn't find her. Around Krasula, Dom sends it forward. And that's going to be a foul on Stanford as Jasmine Ike hauls down Lindsay Munyak. Gajdobranski. Dom sends it over. It's out of play. Castro, long throw, headed out of play by Stanford again. Under 4 minutes to go now. Sarver, knocked down. Evans. Out of play by Stanford, so it's another VCU throw. And I think VCU may have just won a corner off of an absolute ripper from Aisha Mon.
Yeah, Elsie Evans took that one right in the face. Stanford already has Nia Harrison playing with the mask that Jason used in those Halloween movies.
Corner is popped up, still in the box. Krasula came crashing in, still not out of danger, and now finally Haley Craig puts it into that VCU threat. Evans sends it long. Out of play, VCU gets possession right back. Long throw, Harrison pops it up. Harrison just plays it long. Karpovich comes out. Out of play, it'll be a throw-in for VCU. Appeals for a handball. Mon to Bagley, and Ricochet's not quite strong enough. Munyak somehow manages to keep that one in. Can't keep possession, though, as Stanford keeps pinballing it away. Karpovich will scoop it up. Karpovich plays it to Gajdobranski. Gajdobranski now moving forward. Bulatovic to Piklo. Matsuhisa. Good run, but Wesley will send it out of play.
Matsuhisa's really had a good game tonight. Far more impactful than in the Maryland game here.
Matsuhisa doing her best to keep it in. And it will be ruled a goal kick for Stanford.
Turned into a game of Twister down there in the corner.
About a minute to go. It's 2-1 Stanford. But it's a match where Stanford was behind, and now you see Ike running all the way down to tell the keeper to stop. That would be obvious.
Yeah, that's time wasting. Time wasting. Is what that is. And referee's aware of it, and there's the yellow for Craig.
Stanford sends the ball long, and Munyak couldn't keep that one in. Under 30 seconds to go. And I think if you would have told VCU coach Lindsey Martin and this VCU team that Stanford would be getting a yellow card for time wasting at the end of the match, they would have had to feel pretty good about where they were. That one should be, it's going to be a Stanford corner here, and Stanford will be in no great hurry to take this.
9, 8, 7.
Should take it short.
5, 4.
They're going to take it long.
2, 1, 0.
The clock goes off.